Hello, everybody, and welcome back to This or That. It's been too long.
So nice
I'm
to be
Jatt, this
back.
is Kobe. Do you know how long we were off for?
Wow. We were in Brazil the whole time, I know that.
Yeah, I feel like it was almost 5 weeks. It feels like forever. Anyway, This or That is a show where we say this or that based on whatever the slide says. We have five slides today. I've been told that's the fewest we've ever had.
Yeah, we got to ease back into it. Don't want to rush people here.
It's 5 or 6 pretty much.
Coincidentally, yeah, 6 is the most that we've ever had.
The show doesn't have very much variance. We're going to get into the first slide of the summer split. This or that, double lift or wild turtle, TSM double lift or Flacco's wild turtle. I feel like I've been asked this question before.
But prevailing wisdom, TSM obviously feel that double lift is the choice as they've traded off wild turtle. You can see here now on FlyQuest, and I think that there are actually pretty few arguments as far as TSM and their performance for wild turtle compared to double lift.
The last time we saw TSM double lift, it was a 17-1 split. He finished second or third place in the MVP voting. I will say
he helps with the shot calling, which Erickson has said is a big weight on his shoulder, so I think that is a big thing as well.
I will say when Wild Turtle last left TSM and joined Immortals back in 2015, he was actually first team All-NALCS 80 carry that split. So I think he can thrive in other environments, and he's a great NALCS 80 carry. But yeah, I would go with TSM double lift. I mean, Wild Turtle did not look good at MSI. Double lift streaming looked a little better in some situations. So for now, I'm going to go with
double lift streaming was playing against North American solo queue. Turtle was playing against the best players from the entire world. But
but you still agree.
Good joke. Good joke though. But yeah, I would still go.
We're going with this. I think that is prevailing wisdom. Next slide. This or that. Better rework. Guardian Angel or Banshee's Veil, which is now a mage item rather than. Both of these are carry items. This is for AD carries, AP carries.
If you're a mid lane mage, I'm like, oh, well, this is obviously a better rework. And if you're an AD carry, then obviously this is a better rework because the reworks were made
interesting that the tank rework made these two tank items not tank items.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, for me, I don't like the rework because I used to get Guardian Angel all the time, a little bit of both resistances. I play a lot of tanks, I play junglers. Now you have to want AD. Even though they didn't, change the price of the passive that you're paying for, they did change the stats to limit the champions that actually want to buy it.
Yeah, you're going to be an AD carry for this, and you're generally going to be an AP carry for the Banshee's Veil. I feel like for tanks, they're bad items for both of them. I would rather have the Guardian Angel on a squishy diving dude, like if I'm playing Mastery or Nocturne. So in that case, I guess I'll say Guardian Angel is a better rework. I feel like this is a slightly more purposed item now as far as what I'd want. It's a strange question, right? Because I don't think either item is bad from a strictly power level standpoint.
Well, from
Banshee's Veil might be better.
From strictly power level, I think that this is just a more powerful item. It's got higher win rates across the board on all champions than this does applied to mid lane mages.
This is going to help you snowball a lot more, right? Because you're going to build the attack damage and armor. The stat conversion from the old GA to this GA, you're paying about the same for the passive. Just the type of champion you're going to build it on is different.
Definitely going with this.
Yeah. I think for this as well, everything's on my side.
Reviving is better than blocking one spell.
That is true. You block many spells in a sense. This or that, Dardoch roster swap. Better for COG or better for Immortals. Where's that Smithy, man? Are we saying that Dardoch no longer being on Immortals is somehow better?
Well, I kind of like it. We're taking the whole Xmithy part of it out of the equation.
Right.
And we're just looking at, Immortals talked about, internal issues, maybe the team aspect that people always bring up with Dardoch. Oh, he's toxic and he yells at people, does create conflict. Is that them getting rid of it better than the improvement in maybe mechanics for COG's jungle?
I agree with your interpretation of the slide. And I'm very intrigued by Dardoch on COG, and I'm trending towards hopeful because we've gotten to see a lot of insight.
Always trending.
However scripted you'd want to say it is with, Team Liquid's documentary that they released and all the people talking about Dardoch, about kind of the type of person he is. He's highly motivated, really believes in himself, and I feel like has a lot of trouble respecting his teammates. But someone like Aphromoo can command a lot of respect if he's playing well. Because that's going to be what I think turns it. If Aphromoo is back on top of his game and the best support in the league, I think this works beautifully and COG even has a chance to win the split. But if they start slumping,
it's funny because every time Dardoch changes teams, you're like, okay, he'll learn from the last one. Moving to the new team is going to go in with a different look, and he's going to be able to work with the team more. He'll learn from those mistakes. I actually think that COG is the best team set up to do this because you mentioned Aphromoo as an in-game leader. Then Zix is one of the most tenured coaches. I mean, he's been the head coach of COG and analyst for COG for even longer than that. So they have very strong, framework set in place. And if this is going to be the one where the change is
Yeah.
going to, actually come about, and they're going to bring out the mechanics and be able to utilize them like that, then I would definitely go with CLG.
I love this question. I'm going to say Dardoch on CLG, but this is a high-risk investment, I would say, for them.
Let's
next
keep it
slide,
going.
Slide number 4. Which is more valuable, the Infernal Drake or the Rift Herald?
I'm going with
We're
Infernal
going
Drake.
10 minutes. I'm going to say we're 12 minutes into the game. Do you want an Infernal Drake or do you want a Rift Herald?
Rift Herald to me is a win more. It can be used really well. Like if you win a big team fight, you can push down like 3 turrets with the Rift Herald with the timely summoning.
Yep.
But I just feel like Infernal Drake is so incredibly powerful for the late game scaling.
Yeah, if you're just comparing
go with that one.
gold values, so to speak, right? You're going to get one turret that's going to be 700 to 1,000 gold. If it's the first turret, it's going to be a little bit more. But by 25 minutes, the gold value you're getting of bonus attack damage and ability power from Infernal Drake is higher. To mix it up, though, I will say Rift Herald because of the pressure it creates in the game and when you're converting that advantage. Because you're converting this advantage later in the game, and it's a pressure and tempo loss.
I do
whereas
love
the
the
Rift
rework.
Herald is a tempo gain for your team, and I think pro teams can take advantage of that. So I'm going to go with that for now for Rift Herald. TBD on how it plays
I
out.
might see it if this was any dragon, but this
Yeah.
is Infernal Drake. I'm definitely going.
I've been an Infernal Drake hater forever. I mean, I think Cloud Drake is just as good.
No surprise.
Anyway, Rift Herald, last slide. Bad internationally, TSM or NALCS?
Well,
Is it just
CLG
TSM?
placed second at the last
Clearly,
MSI, so.
and international tournaments don't exist. When is MSI? I remember last year CLG did really well. What happened this year? NA is great. I do feel like NALCS traditionally, CLG did make it into second place and C9 made it at a group stage last year. I'd like to think that C9 would have done a little bit better at MSI than...
We don't have a lot of success
TSM.
stories besides the one CLG at MSI success story.
And for TSM, there have been no success stories.
exactly.
So based on
this
that,
one is true.
Yeah, and both of them are true to a large extent. Which is more true, I think would be the larger
So
question.
to me, this one is 100% true.
Yeah.
Because they've almost always disappointed. They did. I was actually pretty hyped up the one year.
2015, I am Katowice, they won.
Yeah, well, that's true, actually. But the year that they had Loco Doco and they were scrimming Samsung White continuously, I was super hyped up. Didn't quite happen there, though. I am going to go with this.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Even though this is also largely true.
Both of them are true. This is more true. That's the final slide for this or that. We did 5. We will see you next week. Tweet at RiotJatt, at RiotKobe. Use the hashtag this or that. Give people questions. We won't look, I think, something like that.
We won't look.
We won't
producers
look.
will
Other
look.
producers will look. I hope
That's
you
why
enjoyed it,
don't tag us in it either.
but know our Twitters. We're done.
Bye-bye.